Hi, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the fourth anniversary of Hamlet. Ooh, this is so exciting. I can't believe it. It's 4 years of chaos or variations, or whenever this was started at the beginning when we had no name and we just had 20 people. And we just read this together on a Thursday night, April 16th, 2020. We're here. We made it. 4 years later, we're still doing this play. 4 years later, 639 members. Can you believe that? 639 people have decided to show up every week on well, not all 639 of them, but in total, this group is 639 people strong. And we have done everything from Shakespeare to Martin McDonagh to radio plays to original scripts to screenplays to rate, like everything that you can possibly imagine we've done. And I really can't believe that it's grown as much as it has. I can't believe that, and even today we got two new members. I don't know how. I don't know how. But I am so delighted that it has become what it has become. I am so thankful for everyone that has just stayed in week after week and supporting while we've done different shows for different organizations and raised money and collaborated with other Zoom groups and just have grown into this really incredible wonderful kind of family that we really kind of evolved in. And I am remarkably grateful for the love and the support and the people. I to lead this group and to kind of just be a part of this thing that I was never expecting it to be has been the one of the best things I think if not, well, one of the best. Yeah, I'd say this is definitely one of the top 5 things I think I've ever done in my life. So thank you to everybody who has supported Chaos. Thank you to the Chaos family. Thank you to my team. Thank you to everybody that has just been involved. So tonight is Hamlet, which is our first reading that we ever did. Oh my God, I'm getting a little emotional. All right, so well, I'm not gonna let me watch him blubber and cry. That'll be later. But without further ado, may I present to you William Shakespeare's Hamlet.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king!
Bernardo?
Ye!
Oh, you come most carefully upon your hour.
Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Have you a quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night.
Stand! Ho, who is there?
Friends to this ground.
Hello, Bernardo.
Say what? Is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good master.
What has this thing?
Farewell, honest soldier.
Give you good night.
Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I've seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, touching this dreaded sight twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that, if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Then let us once again assail your ears, that are so foretold against our story. What we 2 knights have seen.
Well, let us hear.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made its course through the part of heaven, where now burns Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one.
Peace, break thee off. Look where it comes again.
and the same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
Looks not the king. Mark it, Horatio.
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Speak to it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurps this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak.
It is offended.
See? It stalks away.
Stay, speak. Speak, I charge thee, speak.
'Tis gone and will not answer.
Before my God, I might not this believe without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself. Such was the very armor he had on when he, the ambitious Norway, combated.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour. With martial stalk hath he gone by our watch.
In what particular thought to work, I know not. But in the gross and scope of mine opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Stand close, and tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast of brazen cannon and foreign mart for implements of war? What might be toward? Who's it that can inform me?
That can I. At least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even now, but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, dared to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet did slay this Fortinbras, who by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit with his life all these his lands. Now Sir young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharped up a list of lawless resolutes, but to recover of us by strong hand in terms compulsatory those foresaid lands, so by his fathers lost. And this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations.
I think it be no other, but even so, well may it sort that this pretentious figure comes armed through the watch, so like the king that was and is the question of these wars.
A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again. I'll cross it, though it blast me. Stay, illusion. If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak, stay and speak. Oh, stop it, Marcellus.
Shall I strike it?
Do, if it will not stand.
'Tis here.
'Tis here.
'Tis gone.
Was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons.
It faded on the crowing of the cock. Some say that ever against that season comes wherein our Saviour's birth is celebrated, the bird of dawning singeth all night long. And then they say, no spirit dare stir abroad, no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is the time.
So have I heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn, in russet mantle clad, walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him.
Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where'er we shall find him most convenient.
Though yet of Hamlet our dear brother's death the memory be green, and that is befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we, with wisest sorrow, think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress of this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with one auspicious and one dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all, our thanks. Now follows that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death our state to be disjoint and out of frame, he hath not failed to pester us with message importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father, with all bonds of law, to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Now for ourself, and for this time of meeting. Thus much the business we have. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who, impotent and bedrid, scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gait herein, in that the levies, the lists, and full proportions are all made out of his subject. And we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltimand, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving to you no further personal power to business with the king, more than the scope of these dilated articles allow. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty.
In that and all things we will show our duty.
We doubt it nothing. Heartily farewell. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? Come, you cannot speak of trees of reason to the Dane and lose your voice. The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
Dread my lord, your leave in favour to return to France, from whence though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
And take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spended at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet, and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suit of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected haviour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passives show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound is filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. We pray you to throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. But let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. And we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourselves in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come, away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh God. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it. Ah, fie, 'tis an unseeded garden that grows to seed things rank and gross in nature, possess it merely that it should come to this. But 2 months dead? Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king, that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, and so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe. All tears. Why, she, even she. Oh God. A beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing of her galed eyes. She married, O most wicked speed, to posts with such dexterity as to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I am glad to see you well. Horatio, or I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
My good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus?
My good lord.
I'm very glad to see you. Good evening, sir. But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
Prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven ere I'd ever seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
Was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Or who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father. For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead waste and middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure like your father, armed at all points, exactly capape, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. This to me in dreadful secrecy in part they did, and I with them the third night kept the watch. Whereas they had delivered, both in time, form of the thing, each word made true and good, the apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
Where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none.
It's very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed. Indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
Armed, say you?
Armed, my lord.
From top to toe?
My lord, from head to foot.
And saw you not his face?
Oh, yes, my lord. He wore his beaver up.
What, looked he frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Oh, nay, very pale.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
Would I had been there?
It would have much amazed you.
Very like. Stayed it long?
While one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Longer.
Longer.
Not when I saw it.
His beard was grizzled, no?
It was as I have seen it in his life, a sable silvered.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it. Though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace, I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever else shall hap tonight, give it an understanding but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So fare you well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our
Our duty to your honor.
My father's spirit, in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell, and sister, as the winds give benefit and convey its assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet, in the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so.
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor caudle doth besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear his greatness weighed, his will is not his own. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and health of the whole state. And therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body, whereof he is the head. Then if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he in his particular act and place may give his saying deed, which goes no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain, if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not, I stay too long. But here, my father comes.
Yet here, Laertes, Board for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory. See thy character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, there that thou opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Make each man censure, but reserve thy judgment. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulleth the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing seasoned this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I've said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked.
Farewell.
Is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, and that in way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly that it behooves my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Oh, you speak like a green girl. Unsifted in such perilous circumstance, you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you have taken his tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or, not to crack the wind of the poor phrase, running it thus, you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Ay, fashion you may call it. Go, 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 to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Ay, syringes to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, you must not take for fire. From this time, daughter, be something scanter of your maiden presence for Lord Hamlet. Believe so much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk, than may he be given you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
Hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rails. Keeps wassail and the swaggering uprising reels, and as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet but thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Ay, marry, it is. But to my mind, though I am native here and to the manner born, it is a custom more honoured in the breach than the observance.
Look, look, my lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health, or goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from heaven, or blasts from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable, thou comes in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, king, father, royal Dane. Oh, answer me! Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, hearsed in death, have burst their cerements. Why the sepulchre, wherein we saw thee quietly interred, hath opt his ponderous and marble jaws to cast thee up again? What may this mean?
It beckons you to go away with it as if it some impartment did desire to you alone.
It waves you to a more removed ground. Do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak. Then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why, what should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do, that being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again. I'll follow it.
What if it tempt you toward the flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff, and there assume some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness?
It waves me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My fate cries out. Still am I called. Unhand me, gentlemen. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say away. Go on, I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow him.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak. I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, Hamlet, oh, list. If thou didst ever thy dear father love,
God,
revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
murder?
Murder most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, that I with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
Now, Hamlet, hear. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent did sting thy father's life. Now where's his crown?
Oh, my prophetic soul. My uncle.
Ay, that incestuous and adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wits, with traitorous gifts, won to his shameful lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there! But lust though to a radiant angel linked, will sate itself in a celestial bed and prey on garbage. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air, brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of cursed Hebona in a vial, and in the porches of my ear did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man. At swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body, and with a sudden vigour it doth posset and curd and the thin and wholesome blood. So did it mine. Thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched, unhouselled, disappointed, unannealed. No reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible! Oh, horrible, most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, and gins to pale his uneffectual fire. Adieu, adieu, Hamlet. Remember me.
Oh, you hosts of heaven! Oh, earth! What else? And shall I couple hell? Oh, fie, hold, my heart. And you, my sinews, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee? Ay, thou poor ghost. Whilst memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee. Yea, from the table of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, all sores of blocks, all forms, all pressures past, that youth and observation coupled there, and thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matters. Yes, yes, by heaven! Oh, most pernicious woman! Oh, villain! Villain! Damned, smiling villain! My tables, my tables! Meet it is, I set it down, that one may smile and be a villain. At least I am sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. It is adieu, adieu. Remember me. I have sworn.
My lord, my lord.
Lord Hamlet.
Heaven secure him.
So be it.
Ho, ho, my lord.
And come.
How is it, my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you'll reveal it.
No, not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
You'll be secret.
Aye, by heaven, my lord.
There's near a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an arrant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Why, right, you are in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shall shake hands and part. You, as your business and desires shall point you, for every man hath business and desire such as it is, and for my own poor part, I will go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I am sorry they offend you. Heartily, yes, Faith, heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Yes, by St. Patrick, but there is, Horatio, and much offence too. Touching this vision here, it is an honest ghost, that, let me tell you, for your desire to know what is between us, or master as you may. And now, good friends, give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
On my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed. Upon my sword, indeed. Swear.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd some I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you, at such times, seeing me never shall, with arms encumbered thus, or in this head shake, or by pronouncing of some doubtful phrase as, well, we know, or we could, and if we would, or such ambiguous giving out to note that you know aught of me. This not to do, though grace and mercy at your most need help you. Swear. Swear.
Swear.
Rest. Rest, perturbed spirit. So, gentlemen, let us go in together, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray, that time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right.
Oh, now, Ophelia, what's the matter?
My lord, I have been so affrighted.
What the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking together, and with a look so piteous in purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard, then goes to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand, thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last he raised a sigh so piteous and profound that it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulders turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light on me.
This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings. What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle, and meant to rack thee, but beshrew my jealousy. By heaven, it is as proper to our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinions, as it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go we to the king. This must be known.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? What it should be, more than his father's death, that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasions you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus that, opened, lies within our remedy.
Good gentleman, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am 2 men there is not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's mights, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into commands than to entreaty.
But we both obey and here give ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz, and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz, and I beseech you to instantly visit my too much changed son.
Heavens, make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye. Amen.
The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned.
Oh, thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? I assure you, my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and my gracious king, and I do think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, well, speak of that. That I do long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassadors. My news shall be the fruit to that great feast.
Thyself do grace to them, and bring them in. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper.
I doubt there is no other but the main, his father's death and our or hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift him. Welcome, my good friends. Say, gentlemen, what from our brother Norway?
Most fair return of greetings and desires. Upon our first, he sent out to suppress his nephew's levies, which to him appeared to be a preparation against the Pollock, but better looked into, he truly found it was against your highness.
Young Fortinbras receives rebuke from Norway, and, in fine, makes vow before his uncle nevermore to give the assay against your majesty.
Whereon old Norway, overcome with joy, gives him commission to employ those soldiers so levied as before against the Pollock, with an entreaty herein further shown that it might please you to give quiet pass through your dominions.
It likes us well, and at our more considered time we'll read. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labor. Most welcome home.
My liege and madam, this business is well ended. To expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is night, night and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit and tediousness is the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? Let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. A foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. And now remains we find out the cause of this effect, or say the cause of this defect, for this effect defective comes by cause, thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Repent. I have a daughter, have whilst she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. It's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear. Thus, in her excellent white bosom, these, etc.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt the sun doth move, doubt truth be a liar, but never doubt I love thine evermore, Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so, but what might you think when I had seen this hot love on the wing, as I had perceived it? I must tell you that. Before my daughter told me, what might you, or my dear Majesty, your queen here, think, had I given my heart a winking, mute and dumb, or looked upon this love with idle sight? What might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This must not be. And then I percepts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, which done she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, thence into a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by his dissociation into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, very like.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
Such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. He, you, and I behind an arras then, mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a state, but keep a farm and carters.
Yeah. We will try it.
But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Anyway, I do beseech you both away. I'll board him presently. Oh, give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God a mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fish monger.
Not I, my lord.
And I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
I, sir, to be honest as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
Or if the sun breed maggots and a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
Have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to it.
What do you say to that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knows me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone, and truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love. Very near this, I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, that their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hams. All which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honestly to have it thus set down, for you yourself, sir, shall grow old as I am, if like a crab, you could go backwards.
Oh, this may be madness, yet there is madness in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
To my grave.
Indeed, that's out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. My lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life!
Fare you well, my lord.
You tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet? There he is.
God save you, sir.
My honored lord!
My most dear lord!
Friends! How dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz. Good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On Fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe?
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her favors.
Faith, her privates we.
Secret thoughts of Fortune. Oh, most true. She is a strumpet. What's the news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of Fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
And marks a prison.
Oh, we think not so, my lord.
Why then 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why, then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Bad. But in the beaten way of friendship, what makes you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Huh. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come. Nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to colour. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what ends, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you, by the rights of our fellowship, be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercise, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with a golden fire, why, it appears no more thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapours. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, no, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then, when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainments the players shall receive from you. We coded them on the way, and hither they are come to offer you service.
What players are they?
Even those you were wont to take delight in, the tragedians of the city.
They're the players!
You are welcome to Elsinore, your hands, come, you are welcome. But my uncle, father, and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad northwest when the wind is southerly. I know a hawk from a hansel.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Hark you, Guildenstern, and you too, at each ear a hearer. That great baby you see there. I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players. Mark it. You say right, sir. On Monday morning 'twas then indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. When Rossius was an actor in Rome,
The actors are come hither, my lord.
buzz,
Upon my honor.
then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical comical historical pastoral, scene individual, or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy, nor Plautus too light.
O Jephthah, judge of Israel, what a treasure hast thou?
What a treasure had he, my lord?
Why, one fair daughter, and no more, the which he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter.
And not in the right, old Jephthah.
If you call me Jephthah, my lord, I have a daughter that I love passing well.
Nay, that follows not.
What follows then, my lord?
Why, you know, the first row of the pious Chamson will show you more, for look where my abridgment comes. You are welcome, masters, welcome all. I am glad to see thee well. Welcome, good friends. What, my young lady and mistress? By lady, your ladyship is nearer heaven than when I saw you last. Pray God, your voice be not cracked. Masters, you are all welcome. We'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my good lord?
I heard thee speak a speech once, but it was never acted, or if it was, not above once, for the play I remember, please not the million. 'Twas Aeneas, tale to Dido, and especially where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. It is not so. It begins with Pyrrhus. The rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the right resemble, when he lay couched in the ominous horse, hath now his dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal, head to foot. Now is he total ghouls, roasted in wrath and fire, and thus all sized with coagulated gore, with eyes like carbuncles the Hellespirus old grandsire Priam seeks. So proceed you.
God, my lord, well spoken, with good accent and good discretion.
Anon he finds him, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. Unequal matched, Pyrrhus at Priam drives, and rage strikes wide, but with the whiff and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then senseless Ilium, seeming to feel this blow, with flaming top stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash takes prisoner Pyrrhus's ear. For lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of Reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So as a painted tyrant Pyrrhus stood, and like a neutral to his will and matter did nothing. But
this is too long.
Shall be to the barbers with your beard. Prithee, say on. He's for a jig, a tale of bawdry, or he sleeps. Say on, come to Hecuba.
But who, oh, who had the moblid queen?
Moblid queen.
That's good. Moblid queen is good.
Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with besom rheum, a clout upon that head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her lank and all entreamed loins, a blanket in the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen with tongue in venom steeped, gainst fortune's state would treason have pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport, in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal move them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look, whoever he has not turned his color and has tears in his eyes, prithee no more.
Is well. I'll have thee speak out the rest of this soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used, for they are the abstracts and brief chronicles of the time.
My lord, I will use them according to their desert.
God's bodykins, man, much better. Use every man after his desert, after his dessert, and who should escape whipping?
Come, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Follow that lord, and look you mock him not. My good friends, I'll leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul to his whole conceit, that from her working all his visage wanned? Tears in his eyes, distractions in aspects, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing, for Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears, and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, and appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak like John a Dreams, unpregnant of my course, and can say nothing. No, not for a king upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me with the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep to the lungs? Who does me this, huh? Swells I should take it, for it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered, and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Or ere this I should have fatted all the region kites with the slaves offal. Bloody bawdy villain! Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, mindless villain! Oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I? This is most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words, and fall a cursing like a very drab scullion. Fie upon it, foe. About my brain. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before my uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tend him to the quick. If a butt blench, I know my course. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have tomorrow night. You could for a need study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. God be with you. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you, by no drift of conference, get from him why he puts on this confusion?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause I will no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof, when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
And did you assay him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players we o'erwrought on the way, of these we told him, and there he did and seem in him a kind of joy to hear of it. There are about the court, and as I think they have already ordered this knight to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart. And it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose into these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too. We have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia. Her father and myself, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, if it be the affliction of his love, or no, that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honours.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. Read on this book. That show of such an exercise may color your loneliness. I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die. To sleep. No more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy horizons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honour for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
Oh, not I never gave you aught.
My honoured lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath composed as made these things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
If you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit to discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You could not have believed me, I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Me to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferently honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do crawling between heaven and earth? We are arrant knaves, all believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
The doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Help him, you sweet heavens.
Get thee to a nunnery. Go. Farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go. And quickly too, farewell.
Heavenly powers, restore him.
Have heard of your paintings too, well enough. God hath given you one face, and you make yourself another. You jig, you amble, you lisp and nickname God's creatures, and make your wantonness your ignorance. Oh, too, I'll know more of it. It hath made me mad. I say we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go.
What a noble mind is here o'erthrown! And I, ladies, most deject and wretched, now see that noble and most sovereign reason blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Love? Oh, his affections do not that way tend. There's something in his soul o'er which his melancholy sits on brood, but I do doubt the hatch, and the disclose will be some danger. I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England, haply the seas and countries different, with variable objects, shall expel this something settled matter in his heart. What think you on it?
It shall do well. But yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. If you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounce it to you, trippingly on the tongue, but if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I had as lief the tongue of Briar had spoke my lines. Nor do not soar the air too much with your hand thus, but use all gently, for in the very torrent, tempest, and, as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness.
I warrant your honor.
Be not too tame, neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so o'erdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at the first and now, was and is to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time his form and pressure. Now, This or done, or come tardy off, though it make the unskilful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve, the censure of the which one must in your allowance or weigh a whole theatre of others.
I hope we have reformed that indifferently with us, sir.
I'll reform it altogether. Go, make you ready. How now, my lord? Will the king hear this piece of work?
And the queen too, and that presently.
But the players make haste. Will you two help to hasten them?
We will, my lord.
What ho, Horatio!
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art e'en just a man, as ere my conversation coped withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
I do not think I flatter. Dost thou hear? Since my dear soul was mistress of her choice, and could of men distinguish her election, yet sealed thee for herself, and blessed are those whose blood and judgment are so well commingled that they are not a pipe for fortune's finger, to sound what stop she please. Give me that man that is not a passion slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, aye, in my heart of hearts, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest the act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe my uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are as foul as Vulcan's stiffing.
Well, my lord, if a steal off the whilst this play is playing, and scape detecting, I will pay the theft.
They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent. In faith, of the chameleon's dish I eat the air. Promise crammed.
I have nothing but this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
Oh, nor mine. Now, my lord, you played once in the university, you say?
That I did, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
No, good mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Oh, do you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
I, my lord.
Do you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Who, I?
I, my lord.
What should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long? Nay, then, let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of stables. Oh, heavens, died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet. Then there's a hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half.
What means this, my lord?
We shall know by this time.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is the prologue or the posy of a ring?
'Tis brief, my lord.
As woman's love.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round Neptune's salt wash, and Tellus' orbit ground, and 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen. But the world have times 1230's been since love our hearts and hymen did our hands unite commutal in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and the moon make us again encounter over ere love be done. But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer and from your former state, that I distrust you, yet though I distrust discomfort you, my lord, it nothing must.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My apparent powers their functions leave to do, and thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honoured, beloved, and haply one as kind for husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest. Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In my second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first? The instances that second marriage move are based respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I kill my husband dead when second husband kisses me in bed. Whoa.
I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we do determine oft we break. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth to give me food, nor heaven light. Sport and repose lock from me day and night. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, oh, ever I be a wife.
You'd break it down.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me, O here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
No, they do but jest. Poison in jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. This play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the Duke's name, his wife Baptista. You shall see anon. 'Tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that? Your Majesty and we that have free souls, it touches us not. This is one Lucianus, nephew to the king. Begin, murderer. Pox, leave thy damnable face and begin. Come.
Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's ban thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property on wholesome life usurp immediately.
Poisons him in the garden for his estate. His name's Gonzago. The story is extant and written in very choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
How fares, my lord?
Give o'er the play.
Give me some light. Away!
Why?
Aw.
Stricken deep, dear, go weep for the heart's ungalled play. For some must watch while some must sleep, thus run the world away. Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Didst perceive? Horatio,
Yes, very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of the poisoning?
I did very well note him.
For thou dost know, O Damon dear, this realm dismantled was. Aha! Come, some music. Come, the recorders.
Good, my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
A whole history.
The king, sir,
Sir, what of him?
isn't his retirement marvelous distempered?
With drink, sir?
No, my lord, rather with choler.
Your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to his doctor. For me to put him in this purgation would plunge him into far more choler.
Good, my lord, put your discourse into some frame and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, is in most great affliction of spirit hath sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, my good lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please to you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon, and my return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer. My wits deceased. But to the matter, my mother, you say?
Your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
Oh, wonderful son. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration? In part.
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
So I do still. By these pickers and stealers.
Good my lord, what is the cause of your distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend.
I lack advancement.
Well, how can that be, when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Aye, sir, but while the grass grows. Oh, the recorders. Let me see one. Why, do you go about to recover the wind of me as if you would drive me into a toil?
Oh, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
It is as easy as lying. Govern these ventages with your fingers and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stops.
But these I cannot command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Look you now, how unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me, you would seem to know my stops, you would pluck out the heart of my mystery, you would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass, and there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ, yet cannot you make it speak? Splud, do you think I'm easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in the shape of a camel?
By the mass, and 'tis like a camel indeed.
Thinks it's like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood, and do such a bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft, now to my mother. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. How in my words some of she be shent, to give them seals never my soul consent.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you, your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazards so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of his lunacies.
We will ourselves provide.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon this fear which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My lord, he is going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras, I'll convey myself to hear the process. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It had the primal, eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. Pray can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. Like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned, beaten down? Then I'll look up. Oh, my fault is past. But what form of prayer can serve my turn? Oh, forgive me my foul murder! No, that cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? Oh, wretched state. Oh, bosom black as death. Oh, limed souled, struggling to be free, art more engaged. Help, angels! Make a say! Bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now I might do it. Pat now. Eyes are praying. And now I'll do it. And so it goes to heaven. And so am I revenged. That would be scanned. A villain killed my father. And for that, I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven. Why, this is hire and salary, not revenge. I took my father grossly full of bread with all his crimes broad blown as flush as May, And now his audit stands, who knows save heaven. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Up, sword. And now thou a more horrid hint. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in't, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell, where it to it goes. My mother stays, this physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight. Look you, lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. Pray you, be round with him.
I warrant you. Fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rude, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, come and sit you down. You shall not budge, you go not till I set you up a glass, where you may see the inmost part of you.
What will you do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help! Help!
What?
Help! Help!
What? How?
How now, a rat, dead for a ducat dead.
Oh!
Oh, I am slain!
Oh, me, what hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king, and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, it was my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune, leave wringing of your hands, peace sit you down, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dice's oaths.
I mean, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here upon this picture, and on this the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow, Hyperion's curl, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill, a combination and a form indeed where every god did seem to set his seal, to give the world assurances of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a midgewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Would you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Huh? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame, is humble, and waits upon the judgment. What judgment would step from this to this? What devil was that thus consoled you at Hoodman's blind? Oh, shame, where is thy blush?
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will leave there ticked.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an unseamned bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain. A slave that is not the 20th past, the tithe of your president lord, a vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire, and the rule that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
No more!
A king of shreds and patches. Save me. And hover me o'er me with your wings, you heavenly gods. What would you, gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come, your tardy son, to chide that lapse in time and passion let go by the important acting of your dread command? Oh, say!
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, I wish with you that you'd amend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse. Whereon do you look?
On him. On him. Look you how pale he glares. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects.
To whom do you speak this?
See nothing there.
Nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Hey, look you, there. Look how it steals away. My father, in his habit as he lived, look where he goes. Even now, out of the portal.
Oh, this is the very coinage of your brain, this bodiless creation. Ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy? My pulse as yours doth temporarily keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword, which madness would gamble from me. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past. Avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them ranker.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
I'll throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Thus bad begins, and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this, by no means, that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheeks, call you his mouse, and let him, for a pair of wretchy kisses or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be thou assured. If words are made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that.
Alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
There's letters sealed. And my two schoolfellows, whom I trust as well as I will add as fanged, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work, for 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard, and shall go hard. But I will delve 1 yard below their minds, and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night indeed. This counsellor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw towards an end with you. Good night, mother.
Folks, we'll be taking a 5-minute intermission. Please come back at 9:56.
Thank you, 5.
Thank you, 956. I don't know what I'm saying.
You're so welcome. It's so good, fam. Oh my God. It's pretty good.
And now for Hamlet and an exciting adventure with pirates.
Yarr! Get a pirate gear on. No.
Yes.
It's like as soon as Hamlet starts talking, the pirates are like, "Yar! Stop with that self-loathing crap."
You're such a pansy.
Stop with that
Yarr.
self-loathing.
So I arrived at a good time then.
My father died in front of my eyes. Yeah.
My own son Fabian killed me and ascended to my pirate throne.
We sat upon his bones in a throne made of his bones. I have no idea.
And you wonder how am I talking to thee if I'm dead? It's because I'm also running a new crew in hell.
It's basically Pirates of the Caribbean 2. We all come back from the dead. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Why is this a bit that is going on for more than a minute?
Blame Shakespeare for writing the pirates in
Yes, we're filling in the pirate scene.
It's literally, it's very much the question that I have. Why is this bit going on for more than a minute?
And how did pirates get written into Hamlet?
It goes with the treasure. Wait,
Well, it's a long play. We're all losing it a little. No, I'm kidding.
Hamlet goes to Treasure Island.
Oh, okay.
That was it, right, Hayden? That's what you
crossover we didn't know we need, but now need to make happen somehow.
Hamlet is then done. Hamlet of the Caribbean.
Jack Sparrow meets Hamlet. Imagine that.
Oh my God.
Could be a drunk because he's seen stuff, you know. I don't know.
Well, mate, you do talk a lot.
Are we having fun?
Yes.
Now, this is the time for me to become disheveled, right?
Yes, darling.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Roll, Lindsay.
Rolling the hair. Would you like it rolling the hair?
They are not to be, savvy.
That is the question.
Yeah, he just starts talking like a pirate for the second half of the play.
Oh my God, next time we're going to have to do this pirate style.
Don't tempt me for the 5th anniversary to make this pirate.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, the 5th
Yeah, year 5. Like read of this, we all have to do it like pirates.
Year 5, I finally do Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, but we just do it Hamlet style. Stop it.
Somebody adapt it. Somebody adapt it.
We have plenty of Shakespearean adapters. We should, you know what? We should do one big giant collaboration between us, Zoom Shakespeare, COVID Shakespeare Club, and Jackie's group.
Oh, that.
They're all intertwined in there anyway, so like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of overlap, yeah.
I want the overlap.
I'm going to name drop for
And
a second.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
If you do a reading of Pirates of the Caribbean, I actually know the guy who plays Gibbs personally.
Oh,
Kevin McNally?
How old is he?
I'm good friends with his daughter, and I've got him on Facebook too. I've met him a few times.
Nice.
So you're telling me that if we have done it, but we've done the first Pirates went back in 20.
Oh yeah, Kevin McNally. Yeah.
But
That's
I would
cool.
I would do Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and meet Kevin McNally.
I would ask him. I would ask him if he'd be down. Yeah.
Oh my God, Val, stop. Val's freaking out. Do it. Hey, yeah.
But do you understand that Pirates of the Caribbean was like the movie when I was a kid, or like when I was like a teenager, that I like completely fell in love with Johnny Depp and like wanted. That's why I started fencing. It didn't end well, but I really liked fencing.
It didn't end well.
That's how I met one of my best friends. She stabbed me under my mask in my neck. And
Oh.
I would be your best friend. It's fine.
It didn't hurt.
I was in her wedding. It's fine.
Is it really real if you haven't tried to kill each other?
And I don't even know how it happened. I had, because you have the fencing mask on and it covers your whole neck. And
Yeah.
of course we were like trying to do saber, and she went for it, and it just went under my mask in my throat, and I was like, ah! And it didn't cut me or anything, but my voice was shot.
His daughter and I are really good friends, and during the pandemic, I was Zooming with her, and I said to her, "So, Amber Heard, what's going on?"
Oh my God. What'd you say?
Amber Heard? What'd she say?
What'd she say?
She just goes, "She's a psycho."
Oh my God, we knew it. We called it.
We knew it.
And in other news, water. It's wet.
Cold wow. Okay, there's
And
not
another
time to
news,
get
she
into
was-
it. Literally intermission. Oh my God.
Okay, speaking of which, so it's 9:57, so we're back. We are technically back. Everybody having fun? Fab. I am gonna plug next week's. Now, I'm not gonna be next week's reading, but it is Kalo Ha's turn to direct, and he is doing Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Yes.
Okay.
Just wanted to plug that.
I see you.
I have no involvement in it, so like I'm done. I'm out for the.
Oh, you have to miss them for too long.
No, I'll be back for my week with Marilyn. So, but in the meantime, I will not direct. For the record, I am not directing my week with Marilyn, but I will be involved. But anyway, so let's go on to finish the play, shall we?
You got it.
Marsha, I was just thinking maybe the background for the graveyard scene would be that blue and black one,
Oh, okay.
or something like that, so we both got the same.
Okay.
I don't know what you think about that.
We can do that. Do you still have your graveyard scene from Hamlet now?
Well, the one you were playing with earlier, which had a...
Right. But I'm just saying that we do have a graveyard background. If you
Oh, do
want
we?
to use an actual graveyard background.
Oh,
If
okay,
you still
I'll try and
have
find it.
yours. But
Well-
well, let's just use the. We'll use the blue and black then. When is, so that's not just now, that's later, right? Let me go to.
Yeah.
So that's a little ways. Okay, I'll change it for that.
All right, are we good? Fabulous. All right, Kalo Ha, whenever you're ready.
I'm not a.
Where is your son?
Bestow this place on us a little while. Oh, my good Lord. What I have seen tonight.
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries a rat, and in his brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. Oh, it had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all. To you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, or whom his very madness shows itself pure. Weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him thence. And this vile deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Friends both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you haste in this. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends to let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Safely stowed. But soft, what noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where it is, that we may then take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge what replication should be made by the son of a king.
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape, an apple in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I am glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is, and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Bring me to him. Hide, fox, and all after.
I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on him? He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment but their eyes. And where 'tis so, the offender's scourge is weighed, but ne'er the offence. How now, what hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Poe, Guildenstern, bring in my lord.
Oh, now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eaten at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures, else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but to 1 table.
Alas. Alas.
A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing, but to show you how a king may go a progress through the gut of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
I will stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed of thine, for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, and the wind at help. The associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England!
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it if thou knewest our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England! Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so, my mother. Come, for England!
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not, I'll have him hence tonight. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full by letters congruing to that effect the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England. Like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done. However my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
Go, Captain. From me, greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom. You know the rendezvous. If that his majesty would aught with us, we shall express our duty in his eye, and let him know so.
I will do it, my lord.
Go softly on.
Good sir, whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir.
How purposed, sir, I pray you?
Against some part of Poland.
Who commands them, then?
The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras. Oh.
Goes it against the man of Poland, sir, or for some frontier?
Truly to speak, and with no addition, we go to gain a little patch of ground that has in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats, 5, I would not farm it.
Why then the Polak never will defend it?
Yes, and it is already garrisoned. 2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats. We now debate the question of the straw.
I humbly thank you, sir.
God be with you, sir.
Will it please you go, my lord?
I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. How all occasions do inform against me, and spur my dull revenge. What is a man, if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not the capability and godlike reason to fuss in as unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion, or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the events, a thought which quartered hath but 1 part wisdom, and ever 3 parts coward. I do not know. Why yet I live to say this thing's to do. Sith I have course, and will, and strength, and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince whose spirit with divine ambition puffed makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is moral and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Rightly to be but great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honour's at stake. How stand I then? That hath a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot wherein the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent enough to hide the slain? From this time forth, my thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her moods will need be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, hems and beats her heart, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. They yawn at it, and botch the words up to fit their own thoughts.
'Twere good she was spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures and ill-breeding minds. Let her come in.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff, and his sandals shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you? Nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone. Oh.
Nay, not Ophelia.
Pray you, mark. White his shroud as the mountain snow.
Alas, look here, my lord.
Larded with sweet flowers, which, bewept to the grave, did not go with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God healed you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this: tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes, and ooped the chamber door, let in the maid, then out the maid, never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, without an oath I'll make an end on it. By gifts and by Saint Charity, alack and fie, for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it. By cock, they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answers, so would I have done by yonder sun, and thou hadst not come to my bed.
How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must Be patient. But I cannot choose but weep to think they would lay him in the cold ground. My brothers shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach! Good night, ladies. Good night. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death, and now behold. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First your father slain, next your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just remove. The people muddied, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius's death, and we have done but greenly in hugger-mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, and wants not buzzers to infect his ear with pestilent speeches of his father's death. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this, like to a murdering peace, in many places gives me superfluous death.
Alas, what noise is this?
Where's my Switzers? Let them guard the door. What is the matter?
Save yourselves, my lord. Young Laertes in riotous head overbears your officers. The rabble call him lord. They cry, choose, we, Laertes, should be king. Caps, hands, and tongues applaud it to the clouds. Laertes should be king, shall be king. Laertes, king.
The doors are broke.
Where's the king? Sirs, stand you all without. Keep the door. O thou vile king, give me my father!
Calmly, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here between the chaste, unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There's such divinity both hedge a king that treason can but peep to what it would. Acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll be not juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence, let come what comes. I'll only be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world's.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, it's writ in your revenge that swoop stake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends thus wide I'll ope my arms.
Why, now you speak like a good child, and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment appear as day does to your eye.
How now, what noise is that? Oh. Dry up my brains. Tears 7 times salt burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh, heavens! Is it possible a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life?
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, nonny, hey, nonny, and on his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
That thou thy wits, and didst persuade revenge it could not move thus.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And there's pansies, that's for thoughts.
Documented madness, thoughts and remembrance fitting.
There's fennel for you and columbines. There's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it herb of grace o' Sundays. You may wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin is all my joy.
In afflictions, passion, hell itself, she turns to favor and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He will never come again. His beard was as white as snow, all flaxen was his poll. He is gone, he is gone, and we cast away moan. God a mercy on his soul, and on all Christian souls. I pray God, God by you.
Do you see this, oh God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we call ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure burial, no trophy, sword, or hatchment o'er his bones. No noble rite, no formal ostentation. Cry to be heard as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call 't in question.
And so you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall.
God bless you, sir.
Let him bless thee too.
I shall, sir, and please him. There's a letter for you, sir. It comes from the ambassador that was bound for England. If your name be Horatio, as I am to let you know it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of the ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much haste as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb, yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I will give you way for these letters, and do it the speedier that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Now must your conscience my acquittance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, and so have I, a noble father lost, sister driven into desperate terms. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not.
Leave us. What should this mean?
Know you the hand?
No, 'tis Hamlet's character. If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so, how otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord. If so, you'll not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but to the quick of the ulcer, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son in deed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returns shall know you are come home. Will put on those shall praise your excellence with a rapier, bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads. He being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice requite him for your father.
I will do it. For that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that, but dip a knife in it where it draws blood, no cataplasm under the moon can save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with his contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. If this should fail, let our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore, this project should have a back, or second, that might hold if this should blast in proof. Soft, let me see. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. But stay, what noise?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There is a willow, grows aslant a brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her crownlet weeds, clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like. A while they bore her up, but long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drown. Drown.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Shame, say what it will. And you, my lord, I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze. Oh, but this folly drowns it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again.
In youth, when I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract. Oh, the time for my behove. Oh, methought there was nothing, and I was meet.
Fellow no feeling of his business that sings at a grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
Is even so.
But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me till the land as if I'd never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jolts it to the ground as it twere Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. This might be the pate of a politician, which this ass now orifices, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier. Which could say, "Good morrow, sweet lord, how does thou, good lord?" This might be my lord such a one that praised my lord such a one's horse when it's meant to beg for it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Why, e'en so. And now my lady worms chapless and knocked about the mazard with a sexton spade. Here's fine revolution, as we had the trick to see it.
A pickaxe and a spade for a shrouding sheet. Oh, a pity of clay to be made for such a guest is meet.
There's another. Why might not that be the skull of a lawyer? Why does he suffer this rude knave now to knock him about the sauce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell of him his action of battery? I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pity of clay for it to be made for such a guest to meet.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You lie out on it, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou does lie in it. To be in it and say 'tis thine, 'tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man does dig thou for it?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir. But rest her soul, she is dead.
How absolute this knave is! We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave digger?
Of all the days of the year, I came to that day that our last king, Hamlet, overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Can you not tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. He is mad and sent into England.
Aye, marry, why was he sent into England?
Because he was a mad. Shall recover his wits there, or if do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not seen him in there. There is the man. Dead man he is, or as mad as she.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
On what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
If faith, if be not rotten before a die, a will last you some 8 year or 9. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that it will keep out a water a great while. And your water is a sore decayer of your hoarse and dead body. Here's a skull now. This skull has slain you in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A horse and mad fellows it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
Pestilence on him for a mad rogue, a porter, a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, York's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Even that.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, a most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to see the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite jetfuls, and how get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick to this favour, she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked on this fashion in the earth?
E'en so.
Smelt so? Pah.
E'en so, my lord.
What base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till it find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
Oh, faith, not a jot. Alexander died. Alexander was buried. Alexander returneth into dust. The dust is earth, of earth we make loam, and why of that loam, whereto he was converted, might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperial Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Soft, soft, aside. Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is that they follow, and with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the corpse they follow did with desperate hand fordo his own life. 'Twas of some estates. Couch we a while and mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but that a great command oversways the order. She should be enground and sanctified, have lodged to the last trumpet.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should proclaim the service of the dead, to sing sage requiem and such rest to her as peace-parted souls.
Lay her the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. Tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
What's the fair Ophelia?
Sweet to the sweet, farewell. I hoped thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not to have strewed thy grave.
Woe, fall 10 times treble on that cursed head whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. No, pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat mountain you have made to o'ertopple Pelion, or the skyish head of blue Olympus.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose praise of sorrow conjures the one's ring stars, and makes them stand like wonder-hounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet, the Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
I praise not well, I prithee take thy fingers from thy throat.
Oh, pluck them asunder.
Hamlet! Hamlet!
Gentlemen!
Gentlemen!
Why?
Good my lord, be quiet.
I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
Loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him.
Wounds, show me what thou do. Wilt weep? Would fight? Would fast? Would tear thyself? Would drink up Isel? Eat a crocodile? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in her grave, be buried quick with her, and so will I. Nay, in thou mouth I'll rant as well as thou. But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
Oh, this is mere madness.
I pray you, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
So much for this, sir. Now let me see the other. You do remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord.
In my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. There's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, in the dark groped I, fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold my fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission, where I found, Horatio, oh, royal knavery, an exact command, larded with many several sorts of reasons that on the supervised no leisure bated, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Is the commission. Read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted round with villainies, I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair, an earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, as love between them like the palm might flourish, as peace should still her wheaten garland wear, and many such like as is of great charge, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatements further more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death, not shriving time allowed.
How is this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven adornant. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it.
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience.
Why, what a king is this?
Would not think these stand me now upon. He that had killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, and with such cozenage. Is not perfect conscience to quote him with this arm?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim's mine, but I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself, for by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favours, but sure the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace, who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Does know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy state is the more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him. He hath much land, and fertile. 'Tis a chuff, but as I say, spacious in the passion of dirt.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship, it is very hot.
Oh no, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry, as 'twere I cannot tell how. But, my lord, his Majesty bade me signify to you that it has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
Nay. Good my lord, for my ease, in good faith. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of the most excellent differences, of very soft society and great showing, indeed, to speak feelingly of him. He is the card or calendar of gentry, for you shall find in him the continent of what part a gentleman would see.
Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you, though I know to divide him involuntarily would dazzle the arithmetic of memory, and yet in the verity of extolment I take him to be the soul of great article, and to make true diction of him his semblable is his mirror, and who else would trace him, his umbrage, nothing more.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
The consonancy, sir, why do we wrap this gentleman in our more aurora breath?
Sir?
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
His purse is empty already, all's golden words are spent. Of him, sir. Sorry, I said.
I know you are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir.
Sir, you are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes...
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him.
I mean, sir, for his weapon.
What's his weapon?
A rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons. But, well...
The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Oh, shall I redeliver you in so?
Do this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Oh, yours. Does well to commend it himself. There are no tongues, else for's turn.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all hears about my heart, but it is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it will not be now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, let it be.
Come, Hamlet, come and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong. But pardon, as you are a gentleman, this presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done that might your nature honour and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow or the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied. I do receive your offered love like love and will not wrong it.
I do embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play? Give us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance, your skill shall like a star in the darkest night stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No! By this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace has laid the odds of the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both. But since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all a length.
Aye, my good lord.
Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. And in the cup an onion shall be thrown, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cups. Now, the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judge, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
1.
No!
Judgment.
A hit! A very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay. Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come. Another hit. What say you?
Touch, I do confess.
Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin to rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you, pardon me.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by come for the third, Laertes, you do but daily. I pray you pass with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on.
Oh, nothing. Neither way.
How did you know?
Ugh.
Part them. They are incensed.
Nay, come again.
Oh.
Look to the queen there. How?
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
Why, just as a woodcock in my own springe. Osric, I am justly killed with my own treachery.
How does the queen?
Swoons to see them bleed.
No, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink. I am poisoned. Oh.
Oh, villainy. Oh, let the door be locked. Treachery, seek it out.
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. My mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
Point. Envenomed too? Then venom to thy work!
Treason! Treason! Oh, defend me, friends!
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane, drink of this poison. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon me, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance that are but mutes or audience to this act. Had I but time, as this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, oh, they could tell you. But let it be, Horatio. I am dead. Thou livest. Report me, and my cause a right to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go, by heaven, Albert. Oh God, Horatio, if thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras with conquest come from Poland to the ambassadors of England gives this warlike volley.
I die, Horatio. I cannot live to hear the news from England. But I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice, so tell him. The rest is silent.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
Where is the sight?
What is it you would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
The sight is dismal, and our affairs from England come too late. The ears are senseless that should give us hearing to tell us his commandment is fulfilled. That Rosencrantz and Guildenstein are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth. Had it the ability of life to thank you, he never gave commandment for their death. But since, so jump upon this bloody question, you from the Polack wars, and you from England are here arrived. Give order that these bodies, high on a stage, to be placed to the view, and let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning. All this can I truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow, I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my vantage doth invite me.
Of that I shall have also cause to speak, and from his mouth, whose voice will draw no more.
Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.